It's your favorite Compas, and we are back with another edition of Compas on the Beat. In this episode, we talk about the first round of the playoffs. A lot of interesting games happening. Go Pack Go, Buccaneers, CJ Stroud. Wow, a lot of interesting stuff happened. We'll get into all of that. Plus, we have our usual segments of NFL picks, burial of the week, and una más. But that reminds me, Gilberto, don't you have a question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yeah, we've gotten down to 8 teams in the divisional round, 4 in the NFC, 4 in the AFC, but who cares? Let's talk about the coaching carousel. A lot of big names out there. So for the engagement question of the week, I'll keep it a little simple with a bunch of names here. Where will Bill Belichick, Mike Bravo, Jim Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin? I should maybe throw in Nick Sirianni. We'll see what happens with Nick Sirianni. A bad performance tonight on Monday
Pete
Night
Carroll?
Football. Pete Carroll, you could throw him in there too, but I feel like he might be ready for front office or retirement. But you know what? Throw in Pete, throw in Nick Sirianni, throw in all the openings and all the big time names you want in the comments. Let us know where coaches and openings, how would they be filled? If you're on audio, thank you for listening on audio, by the way. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, rate and review. But then get over to YouTube. You got to see Fernando's beautiful face and the nice collar shirt he's wearing. So get on YouTube, comment where will Bill Belichick, the hoodie, who interviewed in Atlanta for the Falcons job. A little weird. I'm also laughing at all the 28-3 jokes, but let us know in the comments.
Maybe you want some of them lemon pepper Lou wings. But a guy that I think knows where Jim Harbaugh is going. Let's go to Dan and Daygo now and see what he's got cooking up.
Welcome all to another glorious day. Shout out to all you guys for waking up, especially if you're waking up with us or seeing us at any point in your day. You already know when this angelic voice, the best voice in Spotify, Google, Apple, whatever, wherever you see or hear the show on the YouTubes, you already know another episode of your favorite program, Compas on the Beat, has dropped. Shout out to all you for riding with us. We appreciate you all. By the way, do not forget, it's a little bit chilly sometimes, right? You need a hoodie. What? Go to make sure you check out our shop over there at certified or Compas certified shop. Do not forget to go over there and get all the gear. We got hats. What? We got hoodies. What? We got shirts. What? We got stickers. What? Do not forget to go over there. Get yourself a little something. You deserve it. You deserve it. Shout out to all of you. Make sure you rep it. Let everybody know what's the best program out there. Be a compa, telecompa. And also, do not forget, you like what you see from the program, from the little house of horns that we do? What? That little what's up bolts we do? What? That little combat compass we do? What? That little compass on the beach show that we do? What? We got a PayPal. Link is in the description. Obviously, we appreciate all you guys. We love you guys. Any way you can help us, any way you can send a little bit of cash or money our way. All it goes is that buying equipment, trying to get housing for special events like the Super Bowl or things like that. It goes a long way. And shout out to all you for being on this ride with us to create the Compas on the Beat Network, to grow the Compas on the Beat Network. Shout out to all you for coming in today and listening to this episode. We appreciate and love you guys. But enough of the dilly-dally thing. They didn't come in here to hear me ramble right now by myself. Let's get on to the program. You already know Gilberto and I are trading blows like freaking the heavyweight champs of the world in a boxing match. You already know we're going at it about the games over the weekend, talking about live, talking about everything, head coaching changes, everything. You already know under the sun, we're going to talk about everything. So shout out to all you for being here with us. Shout out to all you for riding with us. Be a compa, tell a compa. But anyway, let's get on to the program.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilberto Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? Not much, and we found out why they call it Wild Card Weekend, because it was a wild week. It's not super, by the way, just regular, yeah, I know, regular weekend. But it was a little wild, like you mentioned in the intro. Packers, yeah, you can let me have it about the Cowboys. CJ Stroud, like you mentioned, being the Browns. the Bucks beating those slumping Eagles, and Lions was not a underdog, but still a good game against the Rams. So very good, intriguing weekend, and then a blowouts every now and then.
I mean, but that's kind of what you're gonna get. But man, it was really kind of a wild week. I mean, especially because of what happened at Dallas, it's like everybody was like, "Whoa!" And then you see what happens to the Eagles, and you're like, "Oh crap!" And now I'm seeing Cowboy fans waking up and going at Eagle fans on Twitter, and
Well.
I'm like, damn, I'm like, y'all are really like, I'm like, you guys are really.
Remember, Fernando, when we all assumed the winner of the NFC East is going to play the 49ers, the NFC title game, and it just did not work out that way.
Well, not Fernando with his picks, but sure,
No.
you can basically say that. But no,
You were on the Eagles wagon for a good while too.
I know, but I think I jumped off right in the nick of time. Just because I just there, man, it just at one point it just all fell through, and you don't know if it's leadership, lack of leadership, because they have a lot of leadership in there. You have Fletcher Cox, you have Jason Kelsey, you have a lot of different
Brandon
guys in there. Yeah, Darius Slay, and then Sirianni, and then it's like, then you ask yourself, like, is it the assistants? Because like they lost Shane Steichen and you lost
Jonathan Gannon.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, Sean McVay loses guys. Other guys lose assistants all the time. And it's like the big wheels keep on turning. Mary keeps on turning. What? No, I'm kidding.
I think you went to Nashville too, Mary. I don't know.
Rolling. Nah, that's Proud Mary. Tina Turner. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But that's one of my mom's favorite songs. But that's the thing. Like, you got to keep on going. Like, there's no stopping. And it feels like, and then the crazy part is, as soon as they beat Kansas City, it felt like, okay, this team might be something else because of the way they beat Kansas City. And then after that, they went 1-6. After they were 10-1, then they go 1-6, and it's like it all fell apart. And it's like, what's the future of this team? What's going to happen? And I mean, we'll get into that right now, but it's just there's a lot of questions on Philly, a lot of questions going on in Dallas. What's going to happen with the future of big old Mike McCarthy? By the way, if you guys haven't listened yet, you need to go listen to Shane Irving on the Dan Patrick Show. He's a longtime Cowboys fan. The guy's hilarious. He's like, the fat man couldn't get it done, and I just started laughing. I'm like, Jesus, this guy just goes off. But you have to wonder what because and Chad Johnson summed it up perfectly. There's one constant denominator in the problem in Dallas. Jerry Jones.
Yep, the owner.
It's Jerry Jones. But you're not going to fire yourself. You're not going to do any of that. So what are you going to do next? We'll see what happens there.
Bill Belichick.
And can you imagine? So, okay, let me ask you there. Who's the Sith Lord there?
Yeah, that would be kind of that was the problem, right?
Like, Jerry Jones looks like the Sith Lord that got like electrocuted and all that, but then like
Bill Belichick, you know more Star Wars characters than I do, because they both could pull it off as old people. There's not like who's another old guy. I think Jerry Jones is the Sith Lord. I think you're right there.
Okay.
But is there another
Senator
old guy?
Palpatine? No, there's not. I mean, it's just Senator Palpatine's like the old Sith Lord. So I mean, that's basically what's gonna happen there. But
they're old, so
yeah,
but I want to see, this. It could either go really well.
They can go play bingo together.
They could play bingo, and then maybe they could argue there, and
Rich man bingo.
It could be a really, really drama-filled season for good or bad reasons. That's why I want to see it. That's why these Falcons get away. Go hire somebody.
Can you imagine, like, Bill would probably be, you need to stop doing interviews like before I do interviews. Like, I need to do interviews first. Like, you can't do interviews.
Hey, but it might work out because he hates talking. He loves to talk, and it's kind of like us a little bit.
Okay, but sometimes Bill says things that Jerry doesn't like, or my bad. Sometimes Jerry says things that kind of undermine the coach. Bill's not gonna like that stuff.
He might not even care though.
He said it before. Like, I remember one time he's like, "Oh yeah, Tyron Smith is playing this weekend or whatever," and Mike McCarthy was, "Oh, that's news to me," and like leading up to the game, and he ended up playing. But it's like, I don't know. There's just a lot of factors to that, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of question marks. I'm really interested. But all right, let's get the guys in here and see what's up with them. This is just fast. I told you I wanted chaos. I'm a WWE guy, so chaos is what I like. This is chaos. Let's
Worked
bring
out.
it on. Let's see what happens here. But Vic, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back. Good to have everybody back together. Good. We'll get to Dan and Daygo, but it's good to have all four of us back together.
Well, we'll see if he's actually back. Let's see.
Yeah, right.
Rolling in the river. Left a good job in the city.
Is this the same song or a different song? I can't even
No,
tell.
it's the same song.
Man,
But he's
everybody
reading the
plays.
lyrics. He's trying to read the lyrics.
You gave it out.
I can see
You
him going like
bastard.
this.
I'm sorry, I'm blind, Frau. How about that? I'm blind as shit out here. I can't see anything. Anyway, absolute pleasure to be back. Day number what is it? 4 or 5 of wishing I was in Nashville. But here I am. Pleasure to be here.
You sound a little sick.
Hey, when you wake up in piss excellence in the morning like myself, no rest for the wicked. I'm never sick. You know, there's one thing. I think the best piece of advice my head coach gave me in high school.
Again to go get injected again.
The best piece of advice my head coach in high school gave me, right? One time
He's a
after a
jackass.
practice. Okay, thank you. One time after a practice, he pulls us around.
I hate
It
it.
was a little bit late in the year. Okay, let me tell my story. A little bit late in the year. He says, fellas, let me tell you something. Best piece of advice I'll ever give you when you leave this program. This will be the best piece of advice.
You're
said-
free of me.
He said, fatigue, illness, injury, it's a state of mind. It doesn't exist if you don't will it to exist. So there you go. That's my mentality every day.
Tell that to the Eagles too while you're at it.
You can what?
Tell that to the Eagles.
That's a different story. I assume we're gonna get into it, so I'm not gonna get going on my takes yet. But yeah, that was hard to watch, dude. That was hard to watch. You know, it's funny, they call it Super Wild Card Weekend or whatever, and it was more like the Super Mid Card Weekend. This football weekend sucked. The only good game was Detroit and the Rams, and even that makes me nervous rooting for Detroit. You know, I was a little too close for comfort for me.
See, that's the problem with you common folk. I mean, me and my boy, we enjoyed watching the Packers and the Cowboys, didn't we? Me and my boy enjoyed it. Didn't
Oh, you skip now? Okay, skip. Okay, skip.
we enjoyed. Me and Little Wayne,
Okay, skip.
we enjoyed watching the
I think he knows
Packers.
where he's at. I feel like
Huh? I think
he
he was
was-
there at the game.
He was in the
He had
fifth
to have been.
dimension, dude. That guy was probably so high, he was out of it, dude. He
Yeah.
probably saw the Packers had 22 players on the field at one point. Who knows, dude?
the games weren't competitive, but I like the storylines, the upsets with CJ
So,
Stroud.
I was
and the
telling
Packers.
Daniel, I'm in that Packer game. I'm like, okay, 20 to because they had missed the extra point. I'm like 20, and Dallas was starting to drive. I'm like, if I'm Green Bay, I still don't feel good about this. And then they intercept him, pick six them back. I'm like, they went into halftime 27-7, and I'm like, I still wouldn't feel good about this. But Jordan Love, and I mean, I guess we'll start there. Jordan Love for me, I think he took, and that's what I was telling Dan. And I know this name is outlawed on some outlets, but like he took the area of Rodgers where Rodgers waits. He'll throw off his back foot and he delivers a beautiful ball. He doesn't have the arm strength of Rodgers. We all know that. But he just delivers it precise.
I don't know about that for him. This guy's a rocket too. I feel like
No, he does. But I mean, like Rodgers, it just feels like he could like
He who must not be named.
Remember what Wink Martindale told us about well, not us, but like what he said about Herbert, that he could throw a grape through a battleship or something like that. Like it feels like Rodgers could do that too.
What
But
a weirdo analogy.
I know, for real. But it was just crazy to see like the way Jordan Love would throw off and then he would wait until the last second. That's the one thing that I was telling Dan tonight watching the Eagles. Jalen Hurts does not do that. He gets impatient and he's like, oh crap. And as soon as he sees a little bit of pressure, he's like, crap, throws into the ground, throws it up, does different things.
There's a run.
I just have to commend Jordan Love on he stays patient, he stays with it, but
And he took
man,
it in the pocket. Not a lot of guys do that anymore.
Yeah, Yeah. But just the way the Cowboys secondary was confused and leaving guys open, I couldn't believe. Yeah, they just they couldn't defend at all. I was very surprised by that. But Gilbert, what was your take kind of that game?
Yeah, similar, man. Every time I kept watching this guy, extending plays, I'm like, he seems composed. He's a little bouncy there in the pocket. What's he got? Boom, a rifle to, Dontavius Wicks or Luke Musgrave or, Jaden Reed or Christian Watson. All these names we had to learn because they're stepping up under Jordan Love. And to your point to the Rodgers, tendency, he looks like him out there, but he also the mental game. I saw him change a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage, some audibles. He almost caught the Cowboys off guard on a free play, but the officials didn't let it go. And I'm like, that would have been Rodgers like right there. So, I'll give Rodgers credit here. A lot of veteran quarterbacks don't like to teach a young guy, like, hey, the guy coming in to potentially take my job and take him under their wing. Rodgers did that. And I think that's why him and Love have a nice relationship. Like, I remember Joe Flacco saying, Lamar Jackson, get lost. I don't want to teach you. you know, Rodgers, get lost too. So credit to him. And you see all the kind of similarities there. And then Dan, you can take it away from here, but maybe it's time to give your boy Matt LaFleur some credit because he called the good game, the good offense, and everything is starting to come up nice for them. In terms of the pass catchers, and you brought up this point, Fernando, because they kept loading up with young playmakers for Jordan Love, and it's all paying off. And even Aaron Jones finally stayed healthy and killed the Cowboys. They got to get a little more beefy on the offensive line, but it all came up nice for Matt LaFleur. Gutekunst, how you say it, Fernando?
Good.
There you go. Jordan Love, who seems to be the next star there, and they got it right again. But Dan, I don't know if you want to, talk about Matt LaFleur.
No, I this is exactly, if there was an upset to be had this weekend, it was going to be this one. I know the freaking yeah.
All of Twitter coming to slander the Cowboys.
Exactly. Like if there was a team that was going to do this, it was the Cowboys. I've been saying for a while on this program, I'm not a fan of Dak Prescott. I think what they paid for him, overrated. I'm on the it's overrated to pay quarterbacks this much money. It's ridiculous. Like unless you're the son of Odin, unless you're Joe Burrow, unless you're
Mahomes,
Jordan Love.
No.
CJ
They're
Stroud?
not. They're. We'll see about that one, but you know what I mean. Like unless you're absolutely in love with a quarterback, I am not freaking shelling out 40 or 50 mil a year. It's ridiculous. Like, and I think you've seen this in Dallas now, where it's like the thing about Dallas, right? And I go back to Jason Garrett, which is my burial later. Their whole success is running the football. When you can't run the football, that's when problems come up. When you expect Dak Prescott to drop back and pass 40, 50 times a game. The same thing I think, arguably you saw tonight. The problem Philadelphia has been having, they can't run the football. Jalen Hurts isn't a 40, 50 time drop back guy. You got to be able to run the football to have success with those type of players and those type of offenses. Like, and the other thing when it comes to Dallas, we've seen Dan Quinn's defense be shaky before. You know what I mean? Like, LaFleur, I'll give him credit if he beats the Niners. Obviously they look nice and everything else, but you could tell from the beginning that the Cowboys came out with no juice. They were probably already trying to book their ticket to whoever they would have. Oh, I guess they would have been at home, but whoever they were going to play next and everything else, like they came out with no juice. I don't trust the Cowboys really at all, especially as long as Jerry Jones and family is messing around with personnel and trying to be really in the team and all that stuff. We've seen Mike McCarthy do stupid things in the playoffs, and I think we're watching that now. So, or we watched that on Sunday or whenever they played. I'll be impressed next week if he does this. I was more impressed, I kid you not, with Jordan Love's play than LaFleur. I'm not a LaFleur guy at all. Yeah,
Fair
I'm not. I root for the Green Bay downfall.
I think he's 5-1 now against Dan Quinn's defenses.
Wow. Yeah, I think there was some stat like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna hold off on that back because what happens, right now they're the heroes. Next week they're the ones who get beat down. Then all of a sudden they're back to being the villains or the chumps. So I'm gonna hold out on that one.
Vic,
I'll start off with this. I was really impressed with the fact that the Packers took the ball and decided, you know what, we're going to set the tempo in this game, and they did that from start to finish. I thought you were going to, when you said 27-7, I thought you were going to bring up a game from last season that had the same score, but you had the Jaguars come back. I didn't think that in this game. I just thought that with the way the Packers were running motion in this game, they set the tone for this shellacking. Like, I know Dan doesn't want to give Matt LaFleur credit, but I mean the way even the defense stepped up for the Packers. I've been critical of Joe Barry all season long. Playing that big Fangio defense, and they stepped up and they were really good. In terms of the Cowboys, I understand. Like, I was listening to what's his name from Howie Long's son. I forget his name. I'm blanking on
Chris
Long.
Chris Long, and he was talking about like all the misery of the Cowboys and when it started, and in terms of going back to the Romo days and then getting Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and and you think, well, this is gonna turn into a run, and you're 7-8 years in and you still haven't done anything with this team. The Packers with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers have more wins at AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World, than do the actual Cowboys. So that tells you how bad things have gone there. And as you guys mentioned, it starts with Jerry Jones. We've said this, and I thought him mending fences with Jimmy Johnson would finally give him good karma, but apparently that hasn't even helped at all. I think, as you guys talked about, it all comes down to Jerry Jones, and I think eventually, like you said, he can't fire himself. So at this point, he's got to make a decision. Does he want to let somebody else run it until that happens? I don't see things changing for the Cowboys.
I told Fernando a couple of weeks ago that Jimmy Johnson going into the Ring of Honor was good karma for Bill Belichick to get hired. That's what I predicted.
Well, I don't know if you saw that report not too long ago. I saw something where on Twitter or whatever that I guess one time he did have a chat with Jerry Jones. I can't remember if it was when he was with the Browns or D coordinator somewhere or something. He said, "Don't forget about me now." So I'm sure Jerry Jones is going to take a long, hot shower and he's going to evaluate everything. But going back to what you were saying, Vic, about, the Romo days and stuff like that and Dak, their best chance, in my opinion, to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they choke all the time. That's a good
that's the biggest problem. They always do that. But it's like their best chance to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, God help me, it was under Coach Clapper, where it was Dak and Zeke's rookie year. They were unstoppable offensively running the football. The problem in that Green Bay game was they took the ball out of Zeke's hands and they put it in Dak's, which why teams do this, I have no idea. I would argue, again, the downfall spiral of the Chargers was when they took the ball out of LT's hands and put it into Phillip Rivers. There's I don't know how to keep explaining this over and over without beating a dead horse. Running the football has better outcomes more often than not than being pass heavy. My opinion. The physicality, you can't replace it. It wears down defenses in the fourth quarter, and I think arguably you've seen that in these past few games where
Aaron Jones exhausted the Cowboys' defense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because the thing is like when you can't sustain offensive drives and you expect you ask your defense to go out there for 40, 50 snaps and to get beaten down in the run game, they get worn down come fourth quarter time. Then you really test their will, you test their backbone, and it's a tough ask of the defense, honestly, because they're the ones out there, 2 times the amount, because they can't just go, it's not easy for them. Like, the offense goes 3 and out, and then they have to go back there. It's not easy, dude.
Jordan Love is everything Chicago feared he would be. It's like finding out there's a third Death Star.
Yeah, for real.
He's already better than Justin Fields. Like, it's like, for them, is that easy?
I mean, that's a low bar, but I guess.
But like, okay, let me ask you a question, Gilbert. If you're LaFleur, do you send Brandon Staley a gift basket?
You're
to
a
be the new DC?
You're a scumbag.
He's thrown 20 touchdowns since that Chargers game. Like that Chargers game, and now he's thrown 20 touchdowns and only thrown one
that's what
pick.
You meant. Yeah, no, like I think in that it started with the LA, the 2-game trip.
It started with the Rams game.
It was more like to get the monkey off their back. They had a 4-game losing streak and they won the game, and then he really took off, got the confidence back against Staley's defense. But
he has a family, for God's sake. What a scumbag.
Maybe if Joe Barry gets fired, Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay are best buds. So maybe he gets a recommendation from McVay. Staley go be the DC for the Packers, and they have a lot of star power there, and he's good at managing with the star players.
Well, I told you if Raheem Morris goes to Tennessee, I wouldn't doubt
too, yeah.
that.
he'd go back to the Rams. Yeah,
that he goes
probably.
to the Rams, and
Right.
but the
Unless he
only thing
promotes
is,
someone.
will Aaron Donald still be there, or will he be retired? And what happens next? I mean, they have some good young players there. I saw the defensive tackle has been really good, 9 sacks. But the problem is, like, you might not have Aaron Donald. So what's that going to look like?
He said he's coming back yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
And
Well,
to
yeah,
your point too, off of that, the defensive tackle that the defensive line coach that AD really loves, Eric Henderson, took a job at USC, so maybe there might be some changes coming.
That'll be and there's always turnover with Sean McVay's coaching staff. But just real quick, let's jump over to that because honestly, I'm really impressed with what the Lions have done. I mean, everybody saw this video, I'm sure, right here of
That's awesome.
Those are people who care, by the way.
That's
I've seen so many people not give a shit.
That's Lions general manager Brad Holmes. The reason why I said Rams is because I saw that he started as an intern for their PR staff, and he worked his way to be a general manager now of the Detroit Lions. This is what he's done in his 3 years. He's drafted Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derek Barnes. What?
McNeil, Melifano,
Yeah.
some studs.
Yeah, Jerry Jacobs, Aiden Hutchinson, Jamison Williams, Josh Pascal, Kirby Joseph, Jamari Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, and then obviously he's hit on some free agents.
By the way, the Kirby Joseph guy, he tore the AC of Tyler Higbee and Hawkinson. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I can't believe these NFL announcers are getting worse week by week. I think it was Chris Collinsworth, dumbass, up there talking about how they need to get rid of that type of hit or something, or they were talking about getting something about the hit below the waist. This is getting ridiculous, dude. You already took away head-on collisions. Fine, whatever.
You gotta pick one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you expect these defensive players to do their jobs, really? How do you expect them to tackle? Like, I don't want to hear it, dude.
Most of the guys say that they rather get hit up high.
Yeah, of
than
course,
down
in
low
the head.
because,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but they're
yeah.
Either way, I don't want to hear any more about it, dude. Protect the head. All right, cool, whatever.
What we need to do. We need to put Roger Goodell in a helmet and pads.
Yeah,
and
let's see
how
you
Roger, where do you want to get hit?
Exactly.
And have Kirby Joseph do the hitting.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Free my boy Kareem Jackson. That was unbelievable.
But let's go to what the Lions. I mean, the Lions ended up beating the Rams 24-23. By the way, I did not mind the booing of Matthew Stafford. I actually thought it was
don't be soft.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. What the guy do for them? He didn't win. So what the hell are you going to celebrate?
How dare you? He was part of that 0-16 team. He got the hell beat out of him for so many years.
So you're going to celebrate him?
Hey, you got to respect it, dude. The guy was there for how many other guys wouldn't have re-signed?
No, I understand that, but remember, he was still part of those rookie contracts that were 5 years.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had that big time rookie.
He was
contract.
well, he's a club legend. I get it. You're still gonna boo him. You're still gonna boo him.
Yeah. I get it. But okay, but going back to the Lions, I mean, Sam Laporta showed that he has boulders between his legs. He decided to play. And the Detroit showed that they had heart, and they won their first playoff game since 1991. Just Gilbert, your takeaway from that?
Yeah, I like I'll go with the coaching aspect of it. I like Dan Campbell sticking to his winning formula, his identity, being aggressive.
I appreciate that, Gilbert, man.
Yeah, no problem. I want to interview that guy one day. He seems so chill, and also tell him to his face I was so wrong about Dan Campbell. Dan and Daygo, though, my guy over here, he was so right about him.
Exactly.
But he was he pretty much said, hey, Jared Goff, those guys over there, those MFers did not believe in you. I know it's 2nd and 9 right here, or 2nd and 8, and we got to kill the clock, but I'm going to give you the ball. You go put a dagger in Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, and then threw the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they won the game like that. I love it. Sometimes it doesn't come through, but for the most part, his gut decisions, his analytics numbers, whatever the hell it is, he's usually right. So And I was telling Victor on House of Horns, it's kind of funny how everything worked out after the whole eligible eligible receiver reporting to the official. It all came back to kind of help the
They
Lions.
wanted Dallas though.
Yeah, I know they want to do a little pay, but they're still technically
Yeah.
like we're not technically, but kind of a number 2 seed, getting that second home playoff game. It all worked out because he was staying true to himself. And over there, Sean McVay, great job getting his young roster going. Perfect game plan for passing the football with Stafford and Puka, but couldn't run the football. Then there you go. That's your point right there. And then terrible game management at the end. Why are you
Oh
gonna
my God, the
why are you gonna punt the
timeouts,
football?
dude.
Yeah, one timeout, and then you punt the football to the most aggressive coach in the NFL. He's gonna
Yeah.
kill the clock. Keep the
Yeah.
freaking football. Go for it on 4th and 14, or play for the field goal. He did neither, but Campbell won that game, and also Ben Johnson had a nice game plan too. And even Aaron Glenn's defense put a lot of pressure on Stafford.
By the way, there was one where that fool Jared Goff like sacks himself. And
Oh, yeah, he
Dan
falls.
goes, and here goes this jackass. He's like, hit your life alert or do something to pick yourself up. Um,
It pisses me off, dude.
Dan was
Quarterback play
ragging on
is
this
so
fool.
down.
But Dan, just real quick, what did you make of?
Yeah, just real quick. I
is
still
it
think
more
Oh,
on
my bad.
Detroit or more on the Rams? Which one are you?
about winning.
No. Like, are you crapping on the Rams or are you
No.
celebrating Detroit?
Yeah, I'm obviously going to celebrate Detroit. I mean, I already said before, I wasn't a huge McVay guy. Shout out to what he did this year. I think this year really shows what type of coach he is. Because, again, I think a blind orangutan could have won a Super Bowl with that damn roster that he had, especially with the 12th man over there, the Zebras. But it is what it
Are you
is.
saying Little Daniel could have won a ring with that?
100%. He'd be the first, head coach under the age of 21 to win a Super Bowl, dude. He could have done it. But, yeah, I cringe watching Rams games because of how he blows timeouts. But anyway, I still think, again, I love Detroit. I hope MCDC wins it all. I'm honest about that. I really hope he does. I think those are the type of coaches we need at every level. That defense makes me a little bit nervous. I don't know what it is about, I don't know if it's this Vic Fangio thing or this high IQ supposed thing. I don't understand why you're making your best pass rusher drop into coverage. That makes no sense to me. That is almost giving the offense the advantage. I think that is completely idiotic. But I mean, again, I'm not the coordinator. It is what it is. I still don't think Jared Goff's the guy. I still think, hopefully if they don't upgrade at quarterback, hopefully they can upgrade his brain chip over there and make him a little bit better, because there's times where, they're not successful running the football. And then the ghost of, Rams past Jared Goff or whatever comes out, and he just makes me a little bit itchy, makes me a little bit nervous. But obviously, honestly, great win. Like we talked about, first win in 30 years in the playoffs. Shout out to Detroit. Moving forward, I just hope they bring that physicality up front on both sides of the football, because that's going to be the key for them to win and go obviously to the promised land. But they need to run the football. I think if I remember right, they need to run the football a little bit better. There was a few times they got bottled up and stuff like that. For the most part, this is the thing that I was most impressed about, honestly. Aaron Donald was pretty much buttoned up the whole time, dude. And there was a few times where he had one-on-one. So, I'm excited for the Rams. I really hope they do it all, but I mean, we'll see. But again, like I said, just some of that stuff really makes me a little bit nervous. I personally think it shouldn't have been this close, but I mean, it is what it is.
Vic?
Yeah, I mean, when you have Jared Goff going 22 of 22 when he's not pressured, that tells you the whole story of this game. I mean, the Rams, they made the adjustments in the second half. They kept the Lions under 20 yards rushing, which was great, but there was a lot of things, to kind of talk about with this game in terms of the other thing too now is, to Dan's point, I think this win now, when you become the first quarterback to win a playoff game for the Lions since 1991, he's gonna get paid, unfortunately. So whether that's gonna be the problem. I mean, he's getting paid now. There's no way you can get rid of Jared Goff after you accomplish that.
You
And
never
if
know,
he's able
bro.
to, yeah.
I was going to say they got rid of Jamal Williams and the other one after a good year that they had.
Yeah,
Those are running backs.
Yeah, those are running backs. I mean, but I mean I just know the way teams kind of react to these kind of things is they're gonna end up having to pay him, whether we think it's right or not. Like Dan has said, that's just the thing that's gonna happen. And
He's done
and
more than
that
2. I'll say that at least.
Don't even get
yeah.
me started. I hope we're going to talk about that
Right.
game.
Oh
We're
yeah,
getting
we'll
that,
we'll
yeah.
we'll get
Jesus
there.
Christ.
But yeah, I just, as you guys talked about too, about Brad Holmes, as you brought it up too, Fernando. I mean, what he's done the last 3 seasons, everybody talks about, Howie Roseman, and I'll continue to say this. I don't think he's a great GM. He's an overhyped GM. Brad Holmes, you have less need. Guys who have proven to be evaluators. When you have a general manager in Howie Roseman who just ends up getting lucky with some of the trades he makes. I heard Colin Cowher say, "Oh, he's a great evaluator of talent." When I mean, I still haven't seen defensive back. I still haven't seen him hit on linebackers and or receivers. I mean, this is the same guy who drafted Jalen Rieger over guys like Justin Jefferson. So, I mean, going back to Brad Holmes, I think he deserves a lot of credit. He should be, the executive of the year just with everything that he's been able to do. And it just tells you that what the Rams are building also at the same time has worked out. I mean, they've been able to branch out. I know a lot of people, say about Sean McVay, well, look at his tree and, just go hire one of those guys, and that's what everybody's looking for. But they've actually done well, and that just tells you that the Rams have a good culture. And I one of the things I talked to Gilbert about on House of Horns about midway through the season was like, look, Cooper Kupp doesn't seem right. If I'm the Rams, I run this offense through Puka Nacua. Look at what he does. He has 10 receptions for 181 yards in a playoff game. He breaks rookie receiving records. I'm glad that they finally decided that, hey, this is the guy that we're gonna, run our offense through, because a lot of coaches are stubborn and they won't go to it. We'll talk about Philly, but part of the problem that we've seen all around this wild card weekend is the fact that teams do not run the ball. I don't understand it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But that was the other problem with the Rams. I mean, Kyron Williams has been your guy on the ground, and to go away from it, I mean, that's what also kind of lost you the game here.
That's what Sean McVay does, though. Sometimes, like, he just goes away from what his bread and butter are.
It's these guys who
he
love
forgets about that.
computers and numbers and all this horse manure that doesn't do anything for you, dude. A computer's not going to tell me how to win a football game. Sorry, football game. It's not going to tell me how to win it. Like, did you notice ESPN right now was like, oh, it'd be like a 4th down, and they'd have a little graphic that goes, ESPN Analytics, go! I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, Jesus name, where are we going with this?
Dan, who are you hiring?
Hiring for what?
Your head coach.
Oh, James, Jimothy? Can I call you Jimothy? No, how about Jim? Okay, Jim Harbaugh, dude. Bring
all right,
Mike Vrabel is the DC if no one hires him. Hey,
folks, you guys have waited. I know you guys have all been antsy. You guys have been waiting. It is now time. I am going to just throw it up there, and I'm going to let him go off. Dan and Daygo will now break down the Dan and Daygo Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa
You're a
versus Patrick
scumbag.
Mahomes.
You're a scumbag.
Dan, go ahead. Take
You
it.
know-
Oh, the Chiefs obviously beat the Dolphins 26-7 to advance to the divisional round. Patrick Mahomes will play on the road for the first time
Thank God.
in his career. Dan,
Yeah.
what did you make of this game?
You know, this game just embodies everything that's wrong with society and the NFL today.
Okay.
You know, don't even get me started on how many pans I had to that idiot in the press box and their stupid dance.
No. Okay.
That
Go
pisses
to
me
the-
off. I
Go
am
to the
tired of
field.
seeing this
Go to the
manure.
field.
If there
Go to the
is,
field.
I cannot
Go to the
wait.
field.
No, horse. No,
Go
no,
to the
no.
field.
They
Go to
put
the
it in the
field.
stands.
Go
We're
to
going to
the
talk about the
field.
stands.
Go to the field.
I hope the Bills
Go
break
to the
beat
field.
the brakes off of them. Going to the field, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll go back. We'll see. But I don't understand where everyone's hyping up this Chiefs team. I really don't. I thought offensively they were not impressive at all. Vic Fangio, must have had a stroke up in the booth or something, because even that half a brain was holding them to field goals. It's unbelievable. Like, How are you going to
Missing
how are,
6 starters.
how are you going to call besides missing 6 starters? They held them to under 30 points. It was all field goals mostly. I just don't understand.
Minus 20 degrees out there.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the excuses. On top of that, you're missing all those starters. You hold them to field goals. Then I don't understand where the logic is. If you're calling out pressures, why are you going to not press the receivers? So that way it's easy completions every time over the middle. It's unbelievable sometimes, really, just the way these guys are thinking. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Stop all this crap. The other thing, really, what embodies what's going on in this league, Tua is just such a bad quarterback, dude. Like, he can't read. He just throws it up. These quarterbacks don't have pocket awareness. It's so crazy to me that Baker Mayfield, has gone through the journey that he's gone through. He has more pocket awareness than half of these morons who are paid and everything else. It's just unbelievable to me. And I think really, again, and I hope Mike McDaniel sees it or someone tags him, you're a quarterback away. I think he's a good head coach. I think he's a good play caller. I think his biggest liability right now is at the quarterback position, which I don't know why he wouldn't throw in Mike White. It's not like he could do any worse. That was just, they couldn't run the football effectively either. I'll give the Chiefs defense credit, Spags and everything else. But, it was just crazy to me, just a lot of mediocrity in that game that I was not impressed with. My boy Tua couldn't throw a surprise party. Yeah, exactly. He's just bad, dude. Like, I think this has to be the nail in the coffin. If they resign him, I feel sorry for you, Dolphin fans. It is what it is. Because let me tell you something. Son of Odin's on that team. We don't even know who Patrick Mahomes is today. We don't know who T Dizzle is or Swizzle or whatever her stupid nickname is. All those idiots are out of the
All
booth.
right. Gilbert,
Jason Garrett. We're still doing
All right,
burial,
all right,
We're
Dan.
talking about Jason Garrett.
Dan, I hate to break it to you,
Just not
but
impressed.
the Chiefs, they're back. I was impressed with that performance there. Rasheed
Jeez.
Rice, you guys, come on.
We're
Rasheed Rice
so
had a nice
easily
breakout
fooled.
performance. Number 1 wide receiver. And that defense, are we just going to forget they have the dominant defense there? They have Patrick Mahomes, they have Andy Reid, Travis Kelce's coming on a little off, but they dominated. They handle business. You don't
Who
see
did they
these other
dominate?
teams.
Who did they
Let him
dominate?
speak.
The
He let
Browns
you
have a
go
good
off.
defense, and they got picked apart by CJ Stroud. All these teams, the Eagles supposed to have a better talented weapons. They got destroyed. The Chiefs are handling business. They're not crying about being fatigued and being tired. They got to the playoffs, and Rasheed Rice, that game plan that Andy Reid had for Rasheed Rice was outstanding. They got the number 1 receiver. And also, Kadarius Toney, was he anywhere to be found? No, they fixed that problem right there. But that defense, L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie, Nick Bolton, Chris Jones. I know we're making our picks, but they're primed to go into Buffalo and win that game. Buffalo can't even they couldn't even beat the Chargers in a decisive victory. They couldn't beat the Patriots decisively. They're hanging around with the Steelers, so I'll just leave it at that. But I think they really impressed me, and I would not be surprised if they go back to the AFC title game. I don't leave it at that because people do not like my response there.
You're really hoping, aren't you?
Wow, Gilbert loses
You're
the Cowboys,
dreaming.
and now he's jumping on the Chiefs bandwagon.
How are we going to overlook that dominant defense? Like, they have the 2 cornerbacks that can shut down Stephon Diggs and Khalil Shakur and these guys. I don't know. We're going to discuss it, but these Bills don't look scary to me.
Yeah, and I'll give the Chiefs credit in terms of winning another home game, a playoff game. Hey, that's great. It's hard to do in this league. We've seen it with what the Eagles did this season. We've seen it with the Cowboys as well. So credit for that. But outside of that, I mean, the Miami Dolphins were playing with 6 starters on IR on defense. Big Fangio's over here, as Dan and Daygo pointed out, trying to just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And for the most part, they held him to field goals. And then, as you said, I mean, in terms of the Chiefs, I'm still waiting for that offense to do something. I get it. They had a better game plan against Dolphins teams, but the Dolphins, I mean, were coming in 0-10 under 40-degree weather. I mean, even Andy Reid said after the game, we knew that their quarterback, they weren't expecting us to throw the ball because they're a warm weather team. Of course, they're not going to. So I'm actually excited for this matchup that we're going to get now between the Bills and the Chiefs, because the Bills have a chance to kind of exercise some demons there. So kind of like I was kind of hoping we see the 49ers go up against the Eagles after all that trash talk. I'm glad we're getting a rematch of that, earlier game this season where we saw Patrick Mahomes crying and telling Josh Allen that, hey, he was still complaining about the call instead of congratulating him. So I'm excited for this rematch, but I want to hold off. And I get it, Gilbert. You're right. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes, you're going to have a chance. And this is the best defense he's had, during his time with the Chiefs. So I'll give you that. But I'm still not impressed with that offense. I still want to see more. But eventually, I think this short off season plus the long season again, I think it's going to catch up to them.
I'm kind of with Vic and and Dan. I wasn't too impressed.
I just don't get it. Let me just say real quick. They have a very young Houston Texans team in the field. Lamar Jackson, we've seen the movie before. We got to also kind of wait on that. And the Bills have not been dominant. Like, are we really acting like the Chiefs are going to be nobodies here in this Final Four? Like,
yes,
I don't get what we're doing
yes.
Okay.
Because let me tell you something. The problem was, again, you go 3 and out multiple times with the Dolphins because Tua can't read anything to save his life. Can't even read a Cat in the Hat book, my boy. That already is playing with the handicap. It's unbelievable, dude. Like, you watch this guy, he throws to his first read even if it's double covered. I'm pretty sure he had turnovers, if I remember correctly. Josh Allen can have turnovers, but they're at least a little more competent to where they can hold you and they can move things and get it going. He's fired up because he's going to have him at home. And have you seen the stat, by the way?
What's that?
The Sean McDermott stat?
I have not.
They're undefeated with his little motivational speech. I'll just leave it like that. You remember what his motivational speech was, or
yes,
no?
9/11.
Oh, there you go.
I think that was from a couple of years ago, though.
No, who cares? It happened this season.
When it got revealed. When it got revealed.
Since it got revealed. No, the thing is, like,
you still had drops. You still had miscues.
I'm kind of on the same thing about both teams. I wasn't impressed with the Bills today, but I wasn't impressed either with the Chiefs. Like, that was a beat up Dolphins team. Same thing as the Steelers. The Steelers didn't have TJ Watt, so I'm kind of
they
like,
don't even have a QB1 for God's sake. They
that too. But I mean, I'm just interested to see what this team is gonna look like. I know that the Bills have some injuries. It'll be interesting to see if Gabe Davis plays. It's interesting to see who's gonna play. But
two key defensive injuries, by the way, today, the Bills.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what this game is gonna look like. But I mean, I can't completely write off the Bills. I mean, I think the Bills are gonna give them their hardest test yet. And the thing is, too, that offense. I mean, if it comes down to offense versus offense, I trust. Honestly, I think I give it more to the Bills just because of the firepower than I do the something's off on Kelsey. Kelsey has not looked the same. He's dropping all these passes that I don't remember him ever dropping. And I mean, again, I'm a dude that I've gained weight in the past before. I've seen pudge before. Dude looks a little pudgy to me. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, we're
gonna see how much he cries on Sunday or whenever they play.
That was another thing, dude.
That plays a factor.
Like, the dude was like nonstop. Like,
soft.
Third down, they would have an incomplete pass. He'd go to the ref and start complaining. It's like, that's why people are fed up with Patrick Mahomes as well, because he just complaint after complaint after complaint. And it's like, dude, people are just like really over it. But I mean, I get it, but I mean, we'll see what happens there. But all right, let's go now to our picks for the divisional round of the playoffs. Let's start off with last week I went 5-1. Gilberto went 4-2. Vic and Dan both tied at 2-4.
One time I root for the gosh dang Cowboys. God dang it.
But all right, let's start it off. Houston at Baltimore.
Give me Houston.
Wow, I like it though. Houston.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the hot hand. Give me Houston as well. Gilbert.
I really, really like Houston, but I've seen the Ravens just dismantle teams. So, and also I am worried about, rust for them. They've been off for a very long time. But being at home, number 1 seed, and the Texans are a little young, give me the Ravens.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. It's going to be another bad weather game, and as we said, I just hate picking against teams who are cold weather teams, and you have a warm weather team having to travel up. So I love CJ Stroud, but I just can't see it. I understand. I mean, as you guys are probably going to point out with Lamar Jackson, we've seen this story before. He's been a number one seed before, and they've lost. They've been 1-0 before, but it's just hard with this defense and how Mike McDonald has this defense going that it's hard for me to see the Texans winning this game.
The Ravens always have a good defense, my guy. Nothing changes on
What,
those.
what's the second one?
Either
Chiefs.
way.
No, it's the Niners. It's the
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Niners.
yeah. Green Bay at San Francisco. I'm gonna go San Fran. Gilbert.
I would hesitate a little bit because I respect
Do
what
it.
the Packers are doing, but
Do it.
obviously
Do
I'm
it.
gonna go.
Do
No, the
Do
49ers are not the Cowboys. They just put it like that. And yeah, I was really, really contemplating, but no.
Have
What
you
is
seen
it?
Shanahan's record, my guy?
What'd you
They
say?
need. They
I said,
needed
have
it.
you seen
But they-
Shanahan's record, my guy?
Yeah,
San
but like he
Francisco-
does win the division.
San
around that
Francisco
league.
needed it though, like to get McCaffrey healthy, Debo, Trent.
Yeah.
like,
So they're
they
gonna be at full
really
strength.
needed it.
Yeah, we can maybe debate about them in the next round. At least Shanahan knows how to get to the NFC title again, unlike the Cowboys. So give me the 49ers.
Dan,
Bang, bang.
Vic.
We're gonna probably jinx this by all picking the
Yeah.
49ers, and I'm probably gonna jinx the 49ers by saying this, but honestly, they have the easiest path to the Super Bowl now with the Eagles and the Cowboys out now. I just don't see anybody matching up in the NFC. So
I know a guy, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
No
gritty.
bull crap.
Hey, you better stop
Uh,
disrespecting my boy. I already told you this.
Who would you take, Brock Purdy or Jared Goff?
Oh my God, that's a toughie.
A
That's a
little bit.
toughie. They're almost
Uh,
like the same person. They both play clean for the most part, but they do some bonehead stuff.
All right, let's go Bucks and Lions.
This is the Fernando Ramirez, Dan and Fernando Bowl here. 13.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I'll go first. No hesitation. Pack my lip full of dip. Give me MCDC. The train keeps rolling, baby.
Gilbert.
Yep. I'm on that train too now. Sorry, Dan, and give me the Lions.
Oh, I swear to God, if they lose this weekend, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna kill you, fool.
Vic.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks, and the reason I'm
Oh.
gonna go with the Bucks here is because what is the specialty of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Todd Bowles? They love to blitz. Guess what? Jared Goff doesn't like is those zero blitz. Bowles is gonna split the F out of that offensive line, and that's why I like the Buccaneers in this game.
It's gonna be interesting to
Yep.
see the run game too, how that affects the run game.
All right. Last one.
Did you pick
Who'd you-
Fernando?
who'd
You
you
didn't pick
Fernando?
anybody.
Did you
I
pick?
thought I said the Bucks. No,
No,
I,
you
no,
didn't
no.
either.
Okay.
oh my bad. Okay, Well, you said the
Oh, yeah.
Ramirez Bowl.
So,
Yeah,
we're
no, I'm
split then,
going.
Just
Bucks.
wanted to
going.
make
Yeah.
sure for
I'm
me
running.
to write
Yeah,
it down.
I'm going with the Bucks. I
You-
mean,
you
hell,
ready,
I-
Dan, for a team effort here on the Lions?
Yeah,
Oh,
Uh,
he's
let's go. Hit me.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah.
both of them in
Hit
the
me.
cellar the whole season. All right. Last one.
Ooh, I already know this one.
Bills and Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Dan.
Give me that young cowboy out of Wyoming, the Buck Rider himself, Joshua Allen, dude. He's gonna tear it up. This is his revenge game.
Gilbert.
Yeah, get ready. Patrick Mahomes is gonna win again. You guys have to deal with it. Stop
I'm gonna-
crying about it.
I'm gonna run
The
in front
Bills
of a
have done
bus.
nothing to oppress me. Like I mentioned, they lost to the Patriots. They had to go with the Giants and sweat it out. They lost to the Broncos, barely beat the Chargers, barely beat Mason Rudolph with an extra day of rest against the Steelers. So the Jerry Sneed, Trent McDuffie, those corners are going to shut down Stephon Diggs and Dalton Kincaid, whatever. I don't care. Josh Allen, turnovers. Give me Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs.
The Chiefs barely beat the Vikings. They barely beat the Jets and the Manhattan MILF Hunter. They barely beat
One
the
guy has two
Bron-
Super
they
Bowl
lost-
rings.
Real impressed.
They
He's
lost
real
to the
impressed.
Broncos. They lost to the
Two
Packers.
Super Bowl rings
Real
and one guy
They
impressed.
with
barely lost to
50,000
the
turnovers, but
Patriots. They
whatever.
barely beat the Patriots.
You want to
They
check the tape?
barely hold on. They lost to the Raiders.
Oh yeah,
They barely beat Jake Browning and
the Bengals.
So they both had a
Broncos.
rough regular season. Big whoop. Somebody has two Super Bowl rings.
All
and
of a
somebody has zero.
sudden,
pick. Are you
All
ready to
of
move
a
that goalpost?
sudden,
I'm gonna tell you this. I went with the 49ers and Bills in the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna go with the Bills in this game. I can't go
that would be a
against
pretty good
my
one.
Yeah,
yeah.
this
I'm a
fool
lone
gonna.
wolf. I like
This
it.
fool could basically go all the way and and have his Super Bowl pick from the beginning. All right, now let's go to Dan and Daygo and see what he's got cooking up.
That's the thing about Compass on the Beat. We're not just a one-trick pony. We got a little house of horns for all your Rams concerns and needs. We got a little what's up bolts for all your Chargers concerns and needs. We got combat compass for all your combat little UFC and wrestling needs. And then we also got the regular compass out there. Do not forget to check out those pages. Like, comment, subscribe to all the videos. Shout out to all of you. It goes a long way to help us out. Don't forget, we're also on social media. We got Twitter at Compass OTB. The OTB is capital. We got Instagram, TikToks at Compass on the Beat. So we are everywhere. Your Compass are everywhere. Do not forget, get in there, comment, DM, whatever you want to do. Any questions you have, send it your way. Any way you want to interact with us, just be sure to get in there. We also do lives now. That's kind of the new thing. That's been kind of cool, where we get to actually get in there and chat with you guys. So do not forget to keep an eye out. Hit the notification button so you're alert to all things. The Compass on the Beat Network is growing, and thanks to all of you, we're going to continue to grow. Shout out to all of you for being on this ride. So let's get back to the program.
Thank you so much for that, Dan. All right, it is everybody's favorite segment, Burial of the Week. All right, and I fear this moment. And Dan, please,
I don't
as
even
I
say
give you the
anything.
floor, please. But Dan, go ahead.
Coach Clapper, you're in my sights. I'm about to pull that trigger, Coach Clapper. I don't know what it is about these Dallas Cowboy rejects turned announcers that make them so ass. All Sunday, I was thinking to myself, why couldn't this dumb redheaded Ivy League bastard have taken the head coaching job at Duke University? The way they just cheerlead and kowtow for Patrick Mahomes makes me sick, quite frankly. And there was a few times that who was he doing the game with, Frau? You remember? I don't remember.
Mike Tirico.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was doing it with
That
Tariq.
was on Saturday.
Well, who cares? He was doing it on Tirico, or with Tirico. There was a few times Tirico tried to volley him up a few jokes or whatever. They, fell as flat as freaking, well, I can't think of anything right now, but they just fell flat. It was absolute garbage. Like, the guy has no personality. You know what they say about gingers having no souls? I believe Jason Garrett doesn't have one because, my God, no personality. He was boring the whole time. He was freaking cheerleading the dang Chiefs the whole time, which bugged the hell out of me. And that's basically it. I'm not going to get too much into it. Besides the fact that CBS, every other this is the other thing that bothered me. They were getting so, excited because there's a Swift camera or whatever. And they're like, oh, we're right above her. Like, look at us. We're right here too. Like, I'm like, this is just cringe. The NFL is moving towards a place I don't like. And this is just sick and tiring. Give me the Bills by 100 next week. Just crush them. Just crush them, dude.
Didn't Jason Garrett get 2 games to call this weekend? Like, just put him
No,
to
I think he
sleep?
got
No,
one.
I think he just
got one
that
as a
one.
tryout.
Yeah.
And he's ass. You know who's
it was
really
the big
good?
dog one?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe they made people pay to watch that garbage, honestly. But
Well, we have it because of WWE.
well,
and,
I
like,
know.
we
I'm
watch
not saying
soccer,
us. I
too.
know.
No,
I'm
I'm
saying
talking
everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's a giving someone flowers. I think Greg Olson's probably the best announcer out there right now.
Thank
I
you.
hate looking at
Don't say that.
stupid Nepo Eagle baby. I hate looking at stupid Nepo Sims baby. Dr. Florio can't stand. Who's the other Nepo?
Romo?
Oh, the other Collinsworth Nepo over there on NBC. Like, your dad sucks and you suck. So we're just really just promoting anybody out here. It's unbelievable.
What about
These guys
Romo?
haven't- Oh my God, he's one of the worst, dude. I can't
You're
believe
gonna listen to Romo next Sunday.
Ooh,
No way.
yeah.
Don't tell me he's
Yeah.
calling the Chief game.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is.
Dude,
Hey.
if they win, I'm going to blow my brains out. This
Or
is-
Romo had to stay an extra day in Buffalo because of the damn snow.
Good. He deserves it. Hopefully the snow capsizes on him. It's terrible having to listen to this.
He's a Mahomie.
Oh,
They're,
exactly.
they're
That's
complaining
the
about
type
staying
of
on Buffalo.
weak ass commentating I get on Sunday from these morons. Who the hell wants to be a Mahomie? No thanks.
I hope they have to do
Fun.
3 straight games there. No, because only if Houston beats the Ravens.
Yeah.
Did you see the photos, by the way, of the beers at the stadium? I think it was the Chiefs
Oh
game
yeah.
where it was like a slushy. I thought that was
Yeah,
hilarious. I
imagine
was like,
paying $30 for that, and you have to.
that's
drink
why
it
you
quick.
drink whiskey. It'll just be cold.
Yeah.
Vic, go ahead.
Mine has to do with kind of the same thing there. It's most about people who complained about the Peacock game, and I think the ones that really bugged me about this was the people who have a platform. I kept looking at people, and I get it. You're trying to get clicks, and so you're saying, "Hey, why is this game on Peacock?" You know, we've had Amazon forever, and you guys talked about this. We used this as a question on Rapid Fire, and as you said, Fernando, this game was put on Peacock because of Taylor Swift, and they were the ones that would go and subscribe to Peacock. So we understood that. I just don't understand the other people who actually know this, who are actually being paid by the NFL, and they're the ones being complaining about this. It's like, I love the jokes. I love, like, hey, there was a 20-year-old who had to help out his
Yeah,
70-year-old uncle, how to find Peacock. So I and Peacock apparently did really well with the streams. I know people
They
who
really
don't.
bragged about it during the Rams Lions broadcast. Thank you for everybody for being forced to pay for Peacock because we broke
It's
numbers.
so stupid. You know what I hate about that, honestly? How many airports and restaurants don't have that game on? Like, they're acting like it's all subscribers at home. Like, I personally, my bad, Vic, just to go real quick, I hate the streaming idea. I think the NFL is being stupid in the sense that, like, they need to either get rid of Sunday Ticket and, do what WWE does, be on Peacock, have all the, NFL, videos and everything, and include the Sunday Ticket, or just make your own. Like NFL Plus, to me, when they made it, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get all the docs, we're gonna get all the, obviously, the live TV and all that, but we're also gonna get what's it called, Red Zone and all that. Then I find out that it's like, oh no, you don't
YouTube.
get all that. Like, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, dude. They need to just streamline it. Like, number one, they shouldn't have streaming only games. I think that, to me, is a slap in the face to every fan. But that's what it's all turned into, a freak sideshow. The circus is in town.
All right. Okay, Vic, continue your.
No, and right. I mean, you would think that you could. The only complaint I would have is he's right. Just have everything under one umbrella. Like, if you're gonna do CBS, like, if they're the ones in charge of, they're the ones that are getting the Super Bowl this year, then have them be the ones. But like I said, it's not gonna change. We know what this is. It's all about money. So
Yeah.
I understand that. It's when you see people who actually work for the NFL who talk about this, who are the ones complaining. Like, I think, and I have great respect for Sam Farmer, but for him to be complaining about the fact that he had to watch this game on a laptop, like, I just don't understand it. Just because why are you complaining when this is the way of the NFL? This is where it's heading. I mean, we can complain all we want, but they're the king of sports in the United States for a reason. Whether we continue to complain about whether these games should be moved or not, the NFL is going to do whatever they want, and we're still going to watch. So it doesn't matter. As much as we want to complain, the NFL is still going to do whatever it wants.
I'm actually
Can
surprised
you
how many
believe that Patrick Mahomes is about to play in his 4th out of the 5th year Super Bowl, Jim?
Yeah, I was about to say Tony Romo's the
Tony
announcer for
on
the Super
Peacock.
Bowl.
We're gonna have a Dan and Daygo ask Tony Romo questions.
Why do you suck ass at your job?
Yeah,
Why
if
do you
we-
cheerlead?
if
the
there's like a
Chiefs
little
so
round
much?
table with Tony Romo, you should get out there, Dan. That'd be
I
pretty
should.
awesome. Hey, I just wanted to add that I'm surprised a lot of people still don't just go all streaming. I've done only streaming for like 3-4 years now. Like, all these dinosaurs complaining about, oh, I don't know how to sign up or this and that, and like,
All
and don't,
these dinosaurs.
yeah, and don't cry about all these fees. It's like, well, get with the times and cut the cable and just get it's all gonna be expensive regardless. Just pick one,
Yeah.
streaming or TV.
Well, you go with yours next.
Yeah, we're all going streaming. Like I'm the one. I'm not the fossil here having trouble here with my son. Like, can you help me how to get the zone for a fight card? Like I had to go there with the boxing fans. Like stop crying. It's okay. And then you want to complain about money? Like hey, go on Google. There's different resources to get free stuff out there. I'm not gonna just wink, wink. It's not that hard to do. But hey, we all want to complain about it, and I get it. It's expensive, and your plan is perfect, damn, but it's never that easy. But one thing that's gonna obvious, we're all going to streaming, so get with the times.
Go ahead, Gilbert.
Oh yeah, sorry, I lost my breath on that one. But you know, we kind of already crushed the Cowboys, but I want to keep going at them because I believed in you guys. Mike McCarthy, I even gave you credit. I said,
The
hey man,
watermelons.
you might be a coach of the year candidate. You like crushed Kellen Moore with the offense. Hey, CeeDee Lamb balling now. Prescott playing some of the best football of his life. 12 wins. Oh, hey, they won the NFC East. Okay, now we're cooking. 16-game winning streak. AT&T Stadium. You're all primed to break your drought of not going to an NFC title game. Just win 2 games at home. You got it? No, they get crushed by the freaking number 7 seed Packers. The first time ever the 2 seed lose to the 7. You guys are terrible. If you win 17 games next year, I don't give a crap. You're a terrible team in the regular season. I'm done. Fernando, remind me to play this clip. If you start going like 10-1 in the regular season, they're steamrolling everybody. No, I don't care until you get to the playoffs. And the one reason I will care if you do make a change, get Bill Belichick, then I'll start believing you now. But you guys are frauds, pretenders. Get out of my life, and I'll be quick here. Monday playoff football sucks. We had 2 games this year. No, don't make me wait. Stop it, and go all to streaming.
I have a clip for you. I have a clip for you. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Hell, why not? Jordan Love and the Packers will upset the Cowboys this weekend, which will end up getting Mike McCarthy fired, which will end up making the Cowboys hire Bill Belichick, which will end up making Bill Belichick the next head coach.
There you go.
What do you know though, Fran? I don't think you know anything.
I
was going to ask you guys though, right now, since wild card already wrapped up.
Super wild card.
Do you who cares? Super mid card. Do you guys see coaching changes in Philadelphia and Dallas? Both NFC East?
At least
because you already have the Washington already is going to get a head coach. I saw a sign of a fan in the stands, and it was like "Fire Sirianni." I'll go with my take first, and
they're not patient.
Yeah, but I'll go with my take first, and then you guys can go in. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think you fire Sirianni. I understand this was kind of like, an underwhelming season and everything else and the hype and the yada, yada, yada. I think more than anything, it was bad coordinators. That's what I think the problem was. He just got it wrong at the coordinator spot. You could tell, Troy Aikman's not right a lot, but by God, was he on one today, because he was talking about that, how they really miss Shane Steichen, how, as he was receiving so much blitz, they had no answer for quick routes or anything else, and it was ridiculous. Like, I think coordinators is the issue. Jailer's good last year, bad this year, and someone needs to get in there and coach him up a little bit better, because there's still a lot of things of his that I don't like. Some of his tendencies. I think Sirianni, if you look, the body of work speaks for itself. I think he's only been there 3 years, if I remember right. First year, make the playoffs. I think they're 10-8 or 9-8 or whatever stupid thing.
Yeah,
Wild
I think
card.
they were 9-8. Yeah.
Wild card round. Overperformed in his first year. Second year, they go to the Super Bowl, and in my opinion, we're robbed. It is what it is. Came up short. It is what it is. Then this year, you win 11 games. And, obviously the NFL had their daggers on him because they got rid of Big Dom. With Big Dom, they were 10-1.
That's a problem.
Then they go 1-6 down the stretch. So, you do that math. But, in my opinion, I like Sirianni. I think he brings an edge to the team. I just think he got the coordinators wrong. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. So I would have 100% fire McCarthy. I don't think McCarthy and Sirianni have had this similar, stints so far on their respective teams. I think the Cowboys are a bigger disappointment, honestly, because either way, teams that make it to the Super Bowl, whether you win or lose, usually aren't back in the playoffs anyway the next year. So, that's just my opinion. I don't think.
I think this is more like I think I'd go with my veteran players on this and be like, well, what do you like? I think it'd be too hasty to fire Sirianni, but I think changes do need to happen. I just don't know
100%.
what. I just
Yeah.
don't know what they're gonna do, what changes can be made. I mean, coordinators obviously are gonna be the first to go, but I think I know Dan's not gonna like this. I think if they're gonna fire the DC, I think Patricia needs to go too. I think they kick both of their asses out.
I didn't say
I
anything
think
about Patricia. Yeah, fire
no,
Patricia.
I know. Then the
Yeah.
OC, I don't know what they're gonna want to do with that, but I think they need to do something. And if they're gonna clean both OC jobs, they need to do that. But
They played with no
but
passion.
the
They played
key
with
is
no heart.
yeah, the key also is trying to get Jason Kelsey. I think they need to try and run it back with Jason Kelsey at least one
Yeah.
more time
Yeah.
because he was tearing up on the sideline. I don't remember him tearing up all that much last year in the Super Bowl. I feel like he kind of felt like,
Oh,
you know
he
what, I
did.
have one more in me.
did.
I've listened to their podcast a little
Yeah.
bit more this year. At times it gets like you just can't listen to it, but he says that sometimes it's really hard. Like he has to do a lot to his body to get it going to be able to play on Sundays. Travis said that this year, especially also, that it's taken his body a lot to try and get to that point as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jason decides, hey, you know what, let me give it one more go. That's another year of training camp, another
Yeah.
year of
Yeah.
practices, another year of 17 game season, and then another possibly 3 or 4
Playoff
playoff games. But I think I don't know what you guys think, but I just think firing him would be too I think it's too after 3 years of playoffs, I think it's too
Premature.
premature. Yeah.
I'll go off of that. And I think I'll kind of echo what Vic said earlier. Like, I honestly think like it was more of a Howie Roseman problem this year because they did go 10-1, and yeah, it was an ugly kind of way to get there, but they were winning these close games, and that head coaching matters there. And yeah, and the problem with he maybe made some bad hires with the coordinators. I get that, and it's supposed to be a feel out year, but a lot of guys left in free agency on the defensive side, and like they probably already had an idea, like, hey, this secondary got older. You're missing. You don't like your linebackers are pretty thin. You lost Javon Hargraves. C.J. Garner Johnson. So people left. Even T.J. Edwards was a good linebacker for the Bears. So
That defensive tackle also didn't the kid
yeah,
out of Georgia.
Jordan Davis didn't do
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Carter did.
They say he's overweight also, that like he hasn't been able to get his weight under control.
Remember, a lot of Chargers fans wanted him a couple of years ago too.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that hasn't panned out. Usually these guys have I think what Harry Roseman did was like, I don't want to say cocky, but like he usually has a way of drafting the best player available, and when your number is called, you're ready, and you go. And these guys haven't really picked it up like a Jordan Davis and a Kobe Dean. And the secondary was pretty much brand new, especially at the safety spot. So that was an issue there. And then they're a little older on the offensive line, and they weren't as good as last year. But they were getting it done with AJ Brown being a monster, and they were getting it done with the tush push. That's all they had to go 10-1 and some good calls by Nick Sirianni. But after that, it really fell apart. And so I think you guys are on right here to say, hey, go to the playoffs 2 years. You overperformed 2 years. You're the reigning NFC champions. Maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's bad coordinators. Maybe it's lack of defense. I say do it one more time.
Yeah, I'm with you guys in terms of that Nick Sirianni deserves to be back. The problem is Howie Roseman. We've seen this with Doug Peterson. He fired him after they won the Super Bowl. And as Fernando mentioned, he just gets impatient, and he's not going to look at himself and say, I'm the one that messed up here. He's going to have somebody to blame. So if you're going to give at least Nick Sirianni another shot at this, you're going to have to fire those coordinators and let him choose another two. Now, if they struggle next season, then you fire Nick Sirianni. But I've been saying it. I just, like I said, I'm not hating on Howie Roseman. He's been, he won a Super Bowl, thanks to, that run that they had. But I just feel like he gets way too much credit, and there's other dudes that do way more, and I just don't understand. I feel like we need to be more, we need to focus on those guys like the Brad Holmes, the Les Needs. Like, I get it, like Les Need was the F those picks, but he's been able to prove that he can do that with other talent. And I just go back to it. I'm with you guys. I think Nick Sirianni is a good coach. Like, one of the things that we haven't talked about, one thing that I haven't seen anybody talk about with the head coaching cycle. I'm starting to hear that teams want to go after like the Dan Campbell type of guys, like the Antonio Pierce, guys who are leaders. Like people are done with the whole coordinator thing, who take one side of the ball instead of concentrating on being a manager, and which we've seen with Dan Campbell. And so I think that's part of the thing that you're gonna see in this coaching cycle. You're gonna see a lot of more dudes being hired who are leaders, and they're gonna go away from the whole coordinator thing.
The
And
nerds.
yeah,
Mike
and
Vrabel.
which I'm surprised, Dan, that you're a big Mike McDaniel fan, just because he kind of fits that mold of those play callers. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I just give him credit 'cause, I mean, you know, he has basically a scarecrow out there at quarterback, and have him in MVP
He's like,
conversation.
alley-oop, boom.
I think he's very creative. I think he has the right philosophy. He has a hell of a team. You know, I just again, and I took flack for this. You know, when the Chargers played Miami, Tua's not that guy, dude. He spent too much time.
Dolphins fans were
He
crapping
spent
on him.
too much time over the weekend, you know, trying to, you know, keep receipts and going through all the stupid things. And apparently he didn't watch tape for Sunday's game because, or whenever the hell they played. But yeah, like going back to your point, you need to hire leaders. You know, we've seen what the nerds like Josh McDaniels, some of these guys, like everybody forgets. Football is, you know, that type of game where if you're going to run through a wall for the coach and the players, you know, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be pretty damn good. Like you have got to believe in the message being handed down by the head coach. Because we've seen some of these teams that, you know, don't believe, and you get all this, you know, talk that or coach speak, as Gilberto likes to say, and no one buys it. You can see it. Players read through that a mile away, dude. So I'm glad.
Well, and that's why I'm like still waiting for one of these reporters to like tell us what Mike Vrabel's interest is. Like, does he want to coach this year? Or does he want to sit it out or what? But you know what? I saw somebody tweet out that Ryan Day should be fired after seeing the way CJ Stroud is playing now.
Yeah.
And all these guys are playing in the NFL. They're like, they didn't play this way when they were at Ohio State. So I was laughing about that.
I'll give you my take about Vrabel.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, my burial time. No, I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
kidding.
sorry.
What's your
We've
take?
been waiting for Fernando.
No, I was just gonna say, oh yeah, that one is true. I was just gonna say he's probably looking at some of these openings and he's like,
that's why I was
nothing's
saying
really-
he might decide to like.
come
I
be
mean,
my DC. Jimmy's coming. Come be my DC.
He might be waiting for more jobs to open up because Cowboys,
yeah.
Eagles, maybe.
Well, I saw something about. Oh no, that was my idiot cousin. Never mind. He said something like they need to get Vrabel in Philadelphia now or something like that. I'm like, this guy's an idiot.
All right. So I saw that supposedly they want to pass a tackle football ban in California, and I'm not for that. Huh?
No.
For
Pop
kids
Warner.
under 12, Pop
Warner,
Warner, kids under 12
Pop
years
Warner.
old, which I'm like not for, obviously, just
It's
because. Well, I think that what they're trying to do is take away more decision making from the parents. I think every parent, like if Gilbert chooses, hey, I don't want my kids to play tackle football until they're in high school. Gilbert, dude, feel free, 100%. I agree with you. If I want my kid to play tackle football, that should be my decision. I shouldn't let the government be the ones that tell me, hey, your kid cannot play tackle football. Like that's BS. So, and I know Dan did not play until he was in high school. So, but I mean, yeah, exactly. So some people choose differently, but I think it should be allowed to let the parents decide, not let them decide. And I understand everybody wants to talk, throw around the C word. I get it, but the thing everybody needs to think about is that first they're going to start with tackle football, then they're going to start with other sports, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. So organized sports help kids, especially. I remember, I remember when Dan would at first started like playing football. Like I remember watching him, and I mean, you could go with anything. It helps you time manage, and I mean, you know that you have to do your sport, but at the same time, like, hey, you have homework, you have
other responsibilities.
Yeah, you learn that at a young age when you're playing sports, and you're also doing your responsibilities of playing others when you're playing sports, but at the same time, you're going to school as well. So you have to manage all this stuff. And then how many kids that are maybe growing up in not the best areas are using tackle football or playing sports like that and
stay out of trouble, dude.
Sport. Yeah, to stay out of trouble. So I just think this is terrible. I think that the fact that they're going with this is the worst thing ever. And I saw the guy that's
like that's the figurehead guy. Yeah. The main guy pushing it. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, come on, like you don't look like you even know like.
We're gonna have like underground tackle football for preteens, huh? Like, it's gonna be
basically.
Come to this location for tackle football.
It's ridiculous, dude. Like, I don't know. When it comes to the whole C-word stuff, I had one in high school. I'm okay. It is what it is. I think more than anything, when you get those is when you're not using proper technique and form. Like, that's the biggest problem that people don't understand. When you're just launching yourself like a missile, obviously you're going to get some of those from time to time. But if you break down and tackle correct, here's this guy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jeez Louise.
The caption, always this type of guy. Just
shout out to Coach JB. Shout out to Coach JB.
His hair? What is
his hair? Yeah, his hair looks painted on. I agree. But like,
he's been trying to ban it since 2018.
Wow.
Jeez Louise, dude.
So,
can I
going at it? But yeah,
can I give you guys a quick story about so a couple of my friends, they started having kids like right after high school, right? So they've been growing. And so when they they're the first ones to have kids from the friends that I had in high school, and one of them started playing Pee-wee football, and my first reaction to that was like, do you really want to put them through that? Like, hey, you're a young kid, who doesn't, their brain isn't there yet.
Developed.
Yeah. And eventually, like, I was in my 20s, and they were, I think early 30s, I should say, when they started playing Pee-wee football. And of course, I didn't know everything. Like, I don't have kids of my own. So who am I to judge whatever decision that he's making for his kids? His kid loves playing football. They've been playing now for about 5 years, and they love it. So, like I said, just because I didn't think it was right doesn't mean that we should make it into law. My biggest issue actually has to do with baseball and kids throwing a curveball, because then you're having your arm all noodled up by when it hasn't. That's where I have a problem. When you have kids throwing curveballs at 11 or 12 years old, that's worse. But
one of my coworkers at NBC, he would not, like, his kid could throw the crap out of the ball, and he wouldn't, like, he'd be like, Dad, come on, look, I can throw a curveball. He'd be like, no, you're not throwing. Like, the kid was only 12 years old, and he wanted to throw a curve. He threw a curve at a baseball game, and his dad yanked him. Like, he's like, dude, you're not throwing. Like, he yanked him out of a game. He's like, I told you you're not throwing the curve. He's like, but I struck him out. He's like, I don't care. And he yanked him out of the game. I was like, damn. I'm like, that takes a lot of balls. But yeah, no, especially with all the ligaments and all that stuff, like, your arm isn't fully developed. So yeah, no, I completely agree with you with the curveball and all that. Yeah,
they supposedly already banned the header out of youth soccer, which to me is ridiculous. How the hell are you supposed to play the sport? Like,
just ban the sport. That's okay with me.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
Yeah, right.
Champions League season. Champions League season's coming up. I'm getting pretty hyped, dude.
Gilbert, you should come down and watch Bills and Chiefs with Dan.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, I guess.
I don't know. We probably like get into it, and it's screaming match.
You're right. I'd probably strangle him if the Chiefs won. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll be like the Scranton Strangler.
All right. So obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Ecuador has turned something new for their to keep their streets safe. This is what's happening right now in Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Oh my God.
Vaya, señor José Delgado. Tanto tiempo sin verlo. ¿Se acuerda de mí?
No, you're lying.
¿Se acuerda?
This is not real.
De los pobres. Aquí he venido con un Batman de pacotilla.
They have Batman and
you're lying.
Es uno mismo.
No, this is real.
Porque así está Guayaquil. Está tan abandonado que Ciudad Gótica se está regresando a Guaya.
Yeah, no, these guys are like legit,
creepy.
like trying to clean up the streets in Ecuador. Like,
Doesn't that Ecuadorian know the Joker was a bad
I
guy?
was gonna say, is he a hero?
Yeah, I guess
well, like
so.
they're like play fighting, but hold on, I have another
There's
video.
no way that's real. I'm about to Google this.
No, hold on. Like,
There's no way that's
Hold
real,
on.
dude.
Watch this.
No way.
Oh, I saw this.
No way.
Giving out tickets or what?
Do they get into some shootout or something?
Look, he's like the Batman is like right there. Like he's walking the streets.
Ya salió Batman.
Oh my god.
He's there with the cops.
Bruh, I hope that thing's bulletproof because if not, good God. Hey,
And
shout
look
out to KFC.
Hey.
Nice little export.
I was gonna say Latino America loves KFC.
Dude,
Shout
I'm
out.
telling you, like this is
Jeez.
for real. Like, can you imagine? Like they have like all this stuff. Like they have Batman protecting them. Like it's
I don't know where you found that. Dude. That is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw legit a guy with a handgun dressed as Batman, I'm getting off the street. I'm not even looking that way. Especially that Joker guy with a rifle. There's no way. I would order the Uber and I'm out of there, dude. There's no
This
way.
reminds me of that movie Kick-Ass where you just
Oh,
had
hell yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I even found I even searched it, Batman Ecuador, and look, there's even more.
Oh
There he is.
my god, that is wild. The listener on audio or whatever, Google Batman Ecuador. You're gonna want to see this, dude. My
Or
god,
put it into your Twitter. Like they're
yeah,
literally
put it
like,
into your Twitter.
these people are like.
Can you
just-
imagine the comments? The comment section must be amazing right there, dude.
I'm trying to find if like there's more stuff, but it's only like those 3 videos, which I'm
Yeah, there's
disappointed. Like,
nothing of them in
oh, no.
action. Where's the
I
action?
want to see them. I want to see them.
Arrest somebody?
Yeah, go arrest.
Yeah, like I
somebody.
want to see them actually doing something.
Put a
like,
pencil in somebody's eye or what?
Oh my, dude, that Joker looked like he was crazy.
he's big in Ecuador TikTok, so
Oh
you can only
my
get it there.
God.
Yeah, well, oh my god. Okay, like this is really messed up, and I'm not trying to make fun of it, but like supposedly the cartel took a TV station hostage,
Oh
and
yeah.
they were like, Ecuador needs Batman, and I'm like, oh my
God. I
I'm
did see that. I did see that on Twitter though.
I'm just gonna.
I
show
did see that
real
on Twitter.
quick, but-
Dude, you find all kinds of crazy stuff on Twitter. It's honestly crazy. Like
I'm
just
gonna
how much information's out there. It is wild.
This is
That's why
my
they
last.
s-
This
Go
is
ahead.
the last one I got. Look at this, Gilbert. Have you been working out this year?
I'm trying.
I got a workout for you, Gilbert. Watch this.
Oh
Here we go.
my
I can't play the
God.
music. Watch this,
I
Gilbert.
saw this.
Dang, look at that.
What the hell?
Are
is
they
this?
performing at
It's
the?
like a
No. This is a workout. Like, so these people are like like they have like
it's a bungee.
yeah, like it's like a bungee cord, and like they're jumping up and down. They're like dancing,
This looks
kinda
so
like choreographed.
stupid.
I would have been tired on the first
Do you-
jump.
They're like jumping up and down, like they're
They're
doing
trying to
all
practice
this
how to
stuff.
tackle or what?
But like the crazy part is like they're so perfectly choreographed, like it's crazy. But it's not
So-
supposedly it's not a dance, like it's an actual workout. Like these are the workouts that they're doing. But like you know what this reminds me of? Vic, you've probably seen these videos when they're like, oh, how basketball coaches are nowadays that you find on social media where
Yes,
they're making you run through all these like different like hoops
Oh
and stuff.
my
So,
God.
it's like that guy that went viral where he was like working out at the gym and he had like a couch and his
Oh, yeah,
bag
yeah.
and a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. That
Exactly.
guy.
Exactly.
Tell
but-
those dummies to take off the bands when they do the up downs. They'll burn more calories doing that, dude.
But all right, but before we head out, Gilbert, why don't you talk to the good folks?
Yes, my mic went.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah.
there he goes.
There he goes.
AJ
Anyway,
AJ Hawk.
I won't speak, but yeah, I think I'm back now. Help us get to Super Bowl Radio Row in Las Vegas. We've been to the Super Bowl Radio Row the last couple of years. I think we should be good, but just in case we don't want to jinx it, but you can help us out. Check out the links in the description. It's a PayPal link for donations, and we also have a link for our merchandise website, certifiedcompas.shop. You get a cool hoodie. There you go. And
Hoodies are fire.
yeah, so we don't just want your money for nothing. We could also give you a hoodie in exchange. Or Victor is wearing one though. So cool logos right here. So check out the website, certifiedcompas.shop, or join one of our lives on Compas on the Beat. And give us a super sticker, a super whatever, a super like. We got stickers right there too. So join us on a live, comment, chat, be a compa, tell a compa to subscribe. Subscribing is the easier ways to help us out. But if you want to do more, do your part. No more excuses about the holidays. We're on to late January now. So help us out. Check out the links in the description. And that is the end of my promo.
But for $100, you can do what?
Oh, yeah. If you give $100, you get a free date with Dan and Daygo.
You guys are stupid.
But I did see a comment that somebody
I was gonna
said,
say, what happened with the avocados?
I was gonna say they said for $50, I gotta eat avocado toast on YouTube Live. So I will do it for
Tomorrow?
$50.
Is it gonna happen tomorrow?
I gotta find avocados. So I guess
news?
technically, how much are avocados? I have no idea. You guys pay for that crap. If it's like
you can get a good avocado for about $2.
okay, so I'm only making like $48. And
You live around Mexicans, just walk around and go to somebody's avocado tree and yank one.
Does
Yeah,
the law firm not even avocado?
Yeah, she likes avocado, but it's crap to me. We're not the same thing, same taste, Dan. That's how it works.
No, I was just asking.
He's asking, doesn't she have avocado there at the plate? At your
guy,
place?
he's like, oh, she likes avocado, but you're stupid. You're single. I was just asking.
We all have different tastes.
Nobody's wondering if she doesn't have avocado there at your place.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't.
So you don't have to go out and buy avocado.
I honestly don't even look. We don't have avocado.
Louise,
he just chose violence
over here attacking me.
I don't know with Dan. He's always trying to come after me. But
no,
yeah, if this guy's serious, I will do it on maybe
tomorrow.
I think it was Jorge or no.
I don't know if it was Jorge.
It can be anybody. Send it.
Yeah, anybody.
Unless it's $100.
We should have like an auction on one of these lives.
He said he even said he doesn't have a PayPal, but he has a Venmo.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
But we should do like an option for all four of us on a live. Yeah. Just do a bunch of things.
Yeah, I was challenged to wear a Rams hat because on House of Horns.
I wonder what they would try and get Dan to do. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be nervous to ask.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat Network. Over on What's Up Bolts, we are on Chargers head coach and GM watch. Could the Chargers be selecting their GM this week? If they do, Dan and Daygo and I will be all over that. Head coach probably will not happen until next week, as the Rooney Rule, obviously. They cannot meet face-to-face with any candidate or any candidates that are employed by an NFL team until January 22nd, which is next Monday. So make sure you guys are tuned into all of that. But don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat Network. I think you guys are going to be doing a wrap-up show for Rams
Wednesday
this week on Wednesday.
Shout out.
Yeah, so make sure you guys check that out. Oh, and we will be bringing back Comeback Compas. I think Gilbert and I will be doing a preview of the Royal Rumble. It's WrestleMania season. Gilbert, we gotta kick that
time for
one
me to
on.
care again.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely excited for the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of possibilities. Mommy against the Man, Becky Lynch against Rhea Ripley.
We saw Mommy live. Oh my good God, dude! By far,
I'm jealous of that, Dan.
So, yeah,
Jeez Louise, dude.
So make sure you guys tune into all that. But again, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But for the time being, sabes que, Gilbert, vámonos.
Yeah, a lot going on here on the Compas on the Beat Network. And yeah, I can't wait to talk some WWE. Check out Comeback Compas. Got to brush off that little dust on it. Yeah. And appreciate all the supporters on Compas on the Beat. What's Up Boats, House of Horns. We are blowing up here on the network. But it's time to go. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And again, check out those links in the description. But let's get out of here. On that note, ya nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.